What's going on, folks? Painless Risen. Wow. You see the title of the video, obviously. But I'm going to do something that I've never done before. And if you want to get at me, if you want to really connect with me, you can email me at 41ststreetbruh@gmail.com. 41 STREET, common spelling, BRUH @gmail.com. You know, we all like to, it kind of reverberates, it makes us feel good when we hear someone kind of say the things that we've been saying all along. But someone who has a bigger platform. In which me, I'm a small fry, and I enjoy being a small fry. I have no qualms. I don't strive for subscribers or anything like that. And someone has mentioned to me that, hey man, maybe you should put up a Cash App or a PayPal. I believe it's on my Painless Risen channel. If not, I will put it up. If you'd like to donate, trust me, it would make me no never mind if you didn't. But I figure, hell, why not? Everyone else is doing it. So be it. But trust, I don't need it. But I would like to set up a platform in the future. And I know I've said this, but and I've talked about blog talks in the past. But things happen in life. But I would like to build a more formidable, I guess you can say, like environment, where I can really politic and really, equipment and things like that, which I can buy on my own. Trust me. Painless is not that type of dude. I'm not no GoFundMe guy. I don't do that. I got everything. I can pay for everything I need. Trust and rest assured, I can do all those things. And that's why I really never entertained that in terms of, getting money from my loyal viewers. Because I don't mind giving this stuff out for free. Because if you open your eyes, you'll be able to see the same things that I am telling you. So I've never been the one, about, telling this information or providing this information for currency or economical gain. No, I'm just running my mouth. For the most part, Painless is just running his mouth. Some people do it for an agenda, and that's how your get down is. I don't care. But I will do this for free. But someone has suggested to me that maybe there's some opportunity. And I say, if you want to donate, go ahead. I'm not going to do other people. I'm not going to do like other people. There's people on YouTube that when you comment on their commentary, they will say, hey, if you want to comment, you need to donate. I'm not that guy. But I know people like that do that. They probably, for the most part, need that potential income to do whatever they're doing. But yeah, you'll never hear Painless say that. You'll never hear me say donate or bust. I don't do that. That's whack. That's weak. That's disingenuous. But nevertheless, you see the title. Let me move on. I'm done with that. Candace Owens is owning you guys. It is what it is. Shout out to brother Nick Taylor, a loyal viewer, big bro, subscriber of myself. Shout out to him. Check his channel out. Nick Taylor. Check him out. Puts on a lot of good commentary. Doesn't get the notoriety. I don't know if he wants it, but nevertheless, my opinion, he doesn't get the notoriety that he deserves based on the content he puts out. And every time, it's rare that I watch folk, but I do tune in and occasionally watch his videos. I can't watch everyone's videos because I have a life, I'm doing things, and I'm doing what I'm doing. But yeah, check out Nick Taylor. He occasionally comments on my videos. But and then there's a plethora of other brothers and sisters, white, black, Hispanic, whatever, that are making good content that I'll occasionally tap on their name in the comment section and see what they're working with. And they're speaking some good, they're speaking what I perceive as truth. So yeah, check those people out. But you know, I've talked about, you know, the things that many of these pro-blacks continuously say, and I've been saying this for almost a goddamn decade. A decade. Many of y'all have been following me for 10 plus years almost. Damn near. And I appreciate that. But you know what? The story don't change. Now, I watched Candace Owens and Marcus Lamont Hill. Now, Marcus Lamont Hill, he's a professor. I forget what university or college that he had the opportunity of teaching at and giving guidance and instruction to. But Candace Owens, I watched that, and I've done a video about disingenuous liberals. In fact, I talked about disingenuous white liberals. And we've seen it all the time. I could go back to the 1% Wall Street. I've talked about the white kids downtown Wall Street. Gauges in their ear, big holes, which is ironic because that's a African art form, I believe, based in South Africa, one of the many tribes in South Africa, the southern portion of the continent of Africa. And the rings in the nose and the tattoos and the bones in the nose and ears and the pink polished toenails and the slasher shirts and the AC/DC shirts ripped up. But the one thing about them, they come from, these are usually trust babies. See, the thing about poor white folk ain't down there. Because you know what poor white folk is doing? They're working. And I've said all this about this looting and all this shit, all this fake outrage, and where you have all these trust fund white kids coming out and tearing shit up and starting shit and burning stuff up. See, this is what you Negroes don't understand. See, mommy and daddy on their side, as much as they despise that what they call is a freak to them, they think their child's a freak, but they're not going to let them sit in the jails with you, Negro. They're not going to let them sit in the jails with you. You see, you don't have a father. You ain't got no daddy. Your mama is probably working part-time at Dollar General or the Dollar Tree or Walgreens, and she ain't got nowhere amounts of money to bail you out. But see, that white parent, as much as he despises in his mind and their mind, they freak child, they're not going to let them spend time with you in the jail. You see, they don't like you. They don't. They think you're a menace. They think you're a part of the problem. And I've said this, the most biggest forms of racism I've experienced are in liberal, democratic ran cities like Seattle, Los Angeles. Los Angeles is very segregated. And now you got all these things happening. And I've talked about, in the California penal system, and this is what should be the dagger for black and brown unity. Now, let me scale back. No issues, and I'm not trying to say that Hispanics don't endure some of the things that we do. But see, we're one of the only groups we're the only group that was forced here. But let me just say this, and I've seen this on some comments on some Hispanic, pro-Hispanic, as they should, promoting their culture, their race, as other pro-blacks do. Let me just say this, I've never been with brown and black unity, off the strength that if I can't piece up with someone that looks like me, what do I look like piecing up with a Hispanic? And I'll speak about Los Angeles in the gang world. And I'm going off a tangent here, but someone said, I was on this particular Hispanic, Mexican content creator, and somebody said that, and it hit home because I have a lot of family in the SoCal area, ain't even in the Bay Area. My older brother lives in the Bay Area. And I have family all in Richmond, Vallejo, and Pittsburgh, and Antioch, and all those Sacktown and all that. But anyway, someone said, well, black folks, the Hispanics won the war in Compton. Now, Compton is a suburban area, very famous. I've been to Compton plenty of times, and it's very gentrified now, but it's still with the business for the most part. It's not like the late 80s or up to the 2000s and 2000s, but it's getting better. But somebody said, yeah, the Hispanics won. And, blacks ran, and let me just dispel that bullshit. Let me just tell you, because I know for firsthand knowledge. And I said, I commented, which is rare because it struck me. I was low-key in my feelings. I said, you know what? Hispanic, this is the trend, and I've said this in my videos in the past. I said, the reason I said that white people, they're done placating and they're done entertaining the plight and the woe is me sermons of black folks. They have a new pet in town, and that's the Hispanic. I don't care what culture you are, because Latino is not a race. It's various cultures. Various cultures mixed in a mug. It is what it is. And I said, because I want to get off this and get into the Candace Owens, and the Marcus Lamont Hills and the other brother she owned. But I said, y'all didn't run black folks out of Compton or South Central. Black folks got some sense. Black folks got tired of living in projects and decrepit, drug-infested, gang-infested areas, and they moved out to Victorville. They moved out to Paris. They moved out to Moreno Valley, Lancaster, Palmdale, all that shit out there. And they let y'all deal with that shit because y'all are freshly new. I remember, and I've told this story countless times, how I spent a summer in last time I was in LA was '08. But I told you how I spent a summer out in Los Angeles right in the summertime in the early 90s, right after the riots in 93. And I told you my cousins lived in a very notorious neighborhood that where it was all, for the most part, damn near all black. And they was like, this is our liquor store right here. Don't go here. We can't go to this part. If we go up this avenue, it's on. Duck, be prepared. I got all that. But when I went back in '08, it looked like Little Tijuana. Fine with me. But I'm just here to say, ain't nobody run no black folk out of Compton, Watts, South Central LA, Inglewood. It's just that black people got some clout and we like, fuck this shit. We out of here. We leave this shit for these Mexicans and El Salvadorians and whoever. Y'all can deal with this shit. But ain't nobody run no shit out. Ain't nobody run black folks out of nothing. But anyway, leads me to my point. Black folk, we have always, not always, this idea that we're still in 2020 disenfranchised, that we don't have opportunity. And you know who talks the most of this shit? People like Marcus Lamont Hill. This brother has a doctorate degree. And he's still entertaining this woe is me. We're disenfranchised. We don't have the same opportunities. We're being blocked out of certain opportunities and establishments. But this brother has a goddamn doctorate degree. I've talked about, as of late, people that I know. And I told a brother of this that we discussed and we talked, who is a police officer in a major metropolitan area. I said, brother, I got people, man and wife. I got couples who make over $160,000 a year together, living comfortable, benefits, military benefits, talking about being disenfranchised, being picked on because they black. Oh, Pelly, it don't matter. Look at so-and-so. They make millions of dollars a year and they still get pulled over in their Maybachs. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about police brutality, in which Candace Owens told Marcus Lamont Hill and told one of the founders of Black Lives Matter that police brutality is the least of our problems. I told you in a video maybe about a month or two ago, and how this black female got on social media and called me everything except a child of God when I talked about Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood. What they got to do with it. You see, this is what Negroes do. See, it's always been, and I've seen this with other groups because I've lived around the world. I've not only lived in various places around the world, I've been to many places around. See, there's touching down on the tarmac, and then you caddy around in the tarmac, and then everybody get off that's supposed to be there, and then people come on, and then you take your ass back off to where you're supposed to be. No, I've actually lived many places in the world. I've shopped. I've had addresses in many parts of the world, all hemispheres. And I visited, meaning I didn't live there, all parts of the world, all hemispheres, all time zones. So I've seen this. There's a propensity to, like, how he know all this? Who this person think they is? They look like me. They're not supposed to know all this. And that's how we come down, and I say we, meaning the so-called black community, that's how we come down on Candace Owens. Like, how dare her? Candace Owens and Marcus Lamont Hill talked about colleges and SATs. And I've always said this, because I'm a follower and I'm a student of Thomas Sowell. And he's talked about affirmative action. I don't believe in affirmative action. Because what affirmative action does, it negates, it basically says all the things that black folks have been able to achieve are null and void. That we needed the help of a leg up. And this is 2020, folks. This is 2020. You can make money any kind. You can make money. In fact, let me just tell you. And you know what was so fly about this movie? I got Apple TV, and I was happened to watch The Banker. It had the brother Mackie and Samuel L. Jackson. Now, I first encountered the brother. I forget his first name, but it's Mackie something. Now, he made a movie back in the day. It was hilarious. Basically, the brother was a corporate man, a company guy, and he lost his job. It's a very good movie. I forget it, and I know some of you brothers are gonna. And when you post it, I'm gonna laugh and be like, "Damn, I missed that." But anyway, the movie was he lost his corporate job, and what he had to do is he linked up with his ex-girlfriend who broke his heart, who turned lesbian, and they devised a plan to where he can make money, to where he can kind of get back on his feet. The kicker is that he had to knock up women that wanted children. And they were usually lesbian women or some women with some other type of sexual preference or prowess or anything. And it was a funny, I can't think of that movie to save my soul. Is it She's Got to Have It? I don't know. But I know some of you guys and some of you women are going to be like, y'all are probably cracking up right now. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that. But anyway, The Banker was a good movie. And it had Mia Long in it. And it was about some black people that were buying up land. It's based in Los Angeles and in Texas. He was buying up land, and they were covertly buying up banks. And in this era, these people weren't going to jive or deal with no people that own banks that were black. So it was a good movie. It's called The Banker. If you have Apple TV, I don't know if it's on any other type of Hulu or Netflix or anything like that. But I know it's on Apple TV. It's a very good movie. I watched every second of that movie, and it was good. But Anthony Mackie, that's the brother. But anyway, check it out. But I say all that to say that you can own businesses now in 2020, and people won't even know your ethnicity, your sex. They won't know anything, but they're buying your merchandise. So this whole idea that we're disenfranchised, and that's economics. I'm a proponent of economics. I don't believe in voting is good at the local level. Who sits at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? I can give a you know what. It's about locally. You got kids out here that are millionaires, 14, 15-year-olds that are making $250,000, more money than I make a year. But for this brother who has a PhD to sit here and have these same archaic, woe is me, civil rights sentiments and talking points, it's comical. And to see Candace Owens owning these dudes. She owned T.I.'s ass a couple years ago. And see, when you put these type of coons in front of people that are educated and know what's up, and not necessarily educated in the sense of book smarts, but who can see things for what they are. And I said, well, Painless, what the point is of your goddamn video? It's what I've been doing for years. Sitting down, all these people are typical Negroes that haven't delved and looked, they're so fixated on looking at things from a liberalist, Marxist point of view that they just get owned. Candace Owens is, from my standpoint, she's 3-0, hands down. Now, some of you all may have issues with Candace Owens, but we agree with, I would say me and Candace Owens, we agree about 90% of stuff. Some of the stuff she says, I don't agree with, trust. But she makes light work. She makes quick work of these guys, these brothers that represent the average brother and sister walking around. And to me, that's sad. That is sad. One brother talked about our biggest problem is food and diabetes. Then he jumped on police brutality. And, she was just, she just, gosh. But it's sad, man, that we can't be objective and look at things for what they are. It's something else. It really is. It really. But I just want to make that video. You brothers got to step your game up. You got to step your game up. Peace.